the Stinky Popcorn Boys.
We watch movies and eat popcorn. And you're stinky.
Hello. We are the Stinky Popcorn Boys. Just some boys talking about movies and how they made us feel. I am Patrick Basquel, and I am Joe Pesci.
I'm John Gilardi, and I've crushed a man's skull with a paint can.
Oh.
I mean, I guess between those two things, I guess this could be kind of...
I
it
think-
can't be a game because
they-
people know what they clicked on at this point, but it's... I don't know. I like the idea of, like, us giving clues, and then they just figure out what it is, but...
Well, it'd be really cool if there was some sort of, like, thing where people could, like, oh, the new Stinky Popcorn Boys episode is out. I wonder what it's about. And then they, like, it doesn't show up. Like, the icon of what it is doesn't show up. But
maybe one day we'll get to that level of brand
level of brand, or I don't even know if that sort of technology would exist.
I mean,
because you gotta give.
Yeah, I mean, we
give
could
some
just
sort of
title
hint
it
what
like
it is.
episode 1, and then they come to it because everyone loves this podcast so much, no matter what it's about.
Well, anyway, so today we are going to be talking about the movie that made you want to stay at home, the movie that inspired a million kids to plant traps for their poor father or mother, launching the illustrious child star Macaulay Culkin into his first starring role as a homicidal maniac in training, Kevin McCallister, as we are talking about Home Alone, the seminal Christmas classic.
1990. I didn't realize it was that old. That's wild. I thought it came out while I was alive. I was born in 92, but I just thought it was new.
Oh.
But I don't know. I mean, right off the bat, I guess going off of that, I really like the fact that it was made in 1990 and just the old kind of America, I guess, around the holidays and travel, like what airports were like. And I mean, actually,
It's pretty
Chicago
funny.
O'Hare did not change. It looks the exact same. I thought that was interesting. But like
It's
primarily the home decor and the items
Yeah.
in the house, or the branding, the plugins with like the Pepsi with Cousin Fuller, who's definitely going to be an addict of some kind when he grows up. Did you see the way he spikes the camera after he drinks the Pepsi?
Yeah. He's like,
fucking
oh
loves
yeah,
it.
it's definitely a commercial.
Yeah.
He's definitely all about it. You know that's the Rory or Kieran Culkin?
Oh, a brother?
Cousin Fuller, the one with the one who pees his pants and.
Did that guy ever have a career?
Oh yeah, he's actually stayed in acting much more so than Macaulay.
Would you say his name is Rory?
Well, I think it's Kieran Culkin, but there's Rory and Kieran Culkin. They're part of the three brothers that
I don't even know
that did the acting.
Oh, I've seen Kieran Culkin before. Duh.
Yeah, he was in Scott Pilgrim.
I always thought that guy looked familiar because he looked like Culkin.
Yeah, that's Kieran Culkin, baby.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's on Succession now.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. There you
learn
go.
Something new.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
honestly love the intro, and I hate it because I love seeing the old style American family household and all that kind of in motion, and just kind of the slice of life, or like the moment in history that these things are kind of like normal. But then at the same time, I hate and loathe the chaotic family trope.
Oh my gosh,
that
it's so
happens
stressful
in the 80s and 90s, and I even touched on it with the Goonies. Like, to me, like, I just hate that. Like it's very stagey, like theatrical, I guess. I don't know.
No, I mean that works. I would say in this movie it works. It feels more natural to me. I know exactly what the phenomena that you're talking about, where it's like the kid is like, "Daddy, play with me. Just play with me." And he's like, "Oh, I've got to do this meetings meeting right now." And then the wife is like, "Hey, don't forget, you have to buy the car as well. They're trying to get us." And the kid is like, "Oh, but please, will Daddy play with me?" And they're like, "Not now." And they do it together, and it's just like, oh my god.
And then the rest of their life, and then through the rest of the movie, their life is normal. It's just always like hit it at 95 miles an hour to just show our characters. And I guess you have to maybe in a movie to bring us up to speed.
It's a good use of like, all right, here's establishing the characters at their worst, at their like peak at their peak chaos and where they get to be who they truly are or whatever. But it is definitely something that's like, all right, it's
too cute.
I don't know. I guess there's something to be said for it's like, all right, there's a reason we're telling this story is because all this stuff, like the sort of the important day theory, where it's like you're telling one important day or you're telling the important time. Like you wouldn't start on a normal day and then go to the crazy day. You would start with the crazy day when things hit the fan.
Yeah. I mean, I think it fits in this world, and I just mainly just think it's annoying as a thing.
Well, we've also seen it so much because you know, that's all those movies carry that same sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Steven Spielberg, but I mean, you do have John Williams, so you kind of have someone in the umbrella just impacting it, whatever that means.
Well, and John Hughes wrote it too.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. So, and that's one of my things is like how many fucking classics was John Hughes involved in?
Huh.
Like I've got his IMDb up. He only directed 8 movies. He directed 8 movies: 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, She's Having a Baby, Uncle Buck, and Curly Sue. And I would say of those 8 movies, 6 of them are like certified classics. But then if you look at his like writing, it's like National Lampoon's Vacation, 16 Candles, Mr. Mom, Breakfast Club, National Lampoon's European Vacation, Some Kind of Wonderful, Home Alone. He wrote Home Alone. Beethoven. He wrote the Beethoven fucking like dog series. Like Flubber. He wrote.
Oh yeah. Wow. I didn't even think I already forgot about that.
He also wrote Drill Bit Taylor and Made in Manhattan. I don't know. It's just not that those are classics, but it's just like, damn, John Hughes.
The classic Drill Bit Taylor. I think I watched that once.
The classic.
That was when I was watching a lot of TV as just a kid, and like anything that had a lot of marketing behind, just as a kid watching TV, I'd be like, that must be good, and I usually came around. But I mean, what do you think your intro of Macaulay Culkin? Do you think he's really that rotten of a kid, or you think he's just got dickhead family? Which I think
that's kind of.
I think the kid's fine.
I mean, I don't know. Like, that's like there's 2 questions. It's like, is he an asshole kid, and were they good parents? You know, like that's kind of like I think that he's a kid, and I think that there's a large family going, like a large family event. And, you know, he's overwhelmed, and he didn't ask to go to Paris.
Yeah.
You know, I remember going on trips and being like, we got to go to fucking this place again. Again, I didn't say fucking because I was 8 or whatever. But I was like, ugh.
I mean, I had to go to Massachusetts, and that was an hour drive, and I hated it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think I wrote like an essay as a kid, like I have to go 99 miles to go eat a bunch of food I don't like. Just like, never mind, it's about seeing family, but
it's especially during the holidays where it's like you're like, all right, we gotta go, and you're like, I want to do it here. I don't want to have to go to all the place.
Imagine going to like the Paris trip. I mean, I get like someone's brother's there, and that's why they're doing it. But geez. I mean, international travel is a big deal, and then with a family of 11 or 13 children.
Yeah, and how long are they going for?
Sounds like
I mean, I know their trip is cut short, but like, damn, I don't know. Like, there's something I don't know if I would want to spend. I don't know if I would want to spend the holidays in an unfamiliar place. Maybe like leave the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Or like leave Christmas night. But like Christmas is like something where it's like I kind of want to be home and like chill with the fam. I don't want to be like, I don't know. I guess if you're rich enough and you could go to Paris and like kind of recreate that home experience for you.
I mean, they look like they're in a very affluent neighborhood in Chicago.
Oh yeah, that was definitely up to the north.
Yeah,
probably. It was probably Dearborn and not Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the synopsis.
Oh yeah. If you want to get.
No, I'll just synopsize it real quick. For those of you who don't know what Home Alone is about, 8-year-old Kevin McCallister is accidentally left home as his parents and their extended family go off to Paris because they are rich as shit. And then some robbers are attempting to break into the area houses because they live in a rich as shit neighborhood. Kevin thwarts them using precocious guerrilla tactics.
They should have like added a little sub thing in there where he's like studying like, I don't know, just like books from the Vietnam War or something. Like he's like learning, like he's like some reason he's an 8-year-old who has a fantasy with guerrilla tactics in the Vietnam War, which in the 90s kind of makes sense because at that point you're only 15 years removed. Yeah, 15 years removed from the Vietnam War. So
I don't think it would be far enough away that they're like romanticizing it yet, though.
No, not even like it's just like, I don't know, boys will be boys in the classic Americana sense, like cowboys and Indians and army man stuff. Like I think that would have been just a funny, like, I don't know, the fact that he said he's carrying out guerrilla tactics, it's just like this scenario just played out in my head. Of him studying books and stuff in the art of war. Just something
he makes some like improvised bouncing betties and trip mines and stuff.
Yeah.
it suddenly becomes a whole different movie. It's like it's kind of like Rambo. Well, that most recent Rambo where don't like a bunch of like Colombian drug lords attack him in Texas or something like that.
Yeah, I think I love the whole Kevin McCallister serial killer vibe. Yeah, but also going back to what we were saying earlier, I think he's just a normal kid, and I don't even watching this, I don't see the serial killer vibe.
No, I really don't. That's one of the things that I've got. I was like in my notes is like I think that like in the years since, and I think that we see this with like a lot of things where we kind of like over-examine something that's there. And I haven't seen the second movie. This was my first time seeing Home Alone, and I think that I was surprised at how long it took to get to the traps and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had the impression that he was like you said, kind of like an inventor kid, and maybe his parents were always annoyed with him inventing stuff, and he was like, I'll show you. Then in the end, his like penchant for like making things saved the day, and they were like, oh, we should let you exercise your creativity. And, he learned some other sort of thing. But he was just very kid-like.
Yeah, there's a regular kid. And that, to your point, like that, yeah, the Bill Murray effect from Space Jam definitely came out on this one in that regard. Like my memory of this movie is that it's mostly the break-in, and that's literally it's the third act, and that's it.
It's the third act. So
that was really interesting, and it's fun to kind of go back in these things and learn how different your memory and perception and your memory of a memory, how that's a thing.
Yeah.
Just really interesting. I don't know, in itself, I don't know. But
it's interesting, and especially the way that as a culture we've kind of like attached to this idea. Because his traps would probably kill somebody, like the paint can to the head from that distance with the pendulum, or like there's a lot of them would like do serious damage. But also, it is a movie, guys, and also he's a kid, so it's not like he is an 8-year-old boy protecting himself against two grown men. He should be allowed to use lethal force.
Yeah, and he doesn't understand what that is either,
Yeah.
So I don't think he's trying to kill them, No.
He didn't.
If I was
he
a
didn't
kid,
lure
and I was
them into a trap.
Yeah, his knowledge is cartoons or TV violence, and
yeah, that's a good point.
He can't imagine that this, maybe like death maybe isn't even a concept to him.
Like how many times did you see a safe? Like a full, 10-ton safe, or even just like a weight that said 2 tons, and then have it dropped on Wile E. Coyote or Foghorn Leghorn, and they're like, oh, well, I'm fine now. I'm just a little bit dazed, and what that would do. Oh my gosh, that's who the real culprit is. Bugs Bunny.
Did you watch this on Disney Plus?
I did, I think.
It's they censored something. So when Marv is a taller, lanky burglar.
Yeah, Marv is the taller one, yeah.
I'm pretty sure when he steps on the nail you see that, like he steps on it in the regular release. But in this, they cut away as his foot just touches it. Which is interesting, and I only remember that because I don't know if it's Cord or Digital. They did or one of their side channels. I don't remember. They did a thing where they use their special effects skills to make the attacks more representative of what would have actually happened, like the heads blowing up or Marv's foot getting torn in half because he puts his foot on the nail and then he falls backwards, so it rips it toward the front through the webbing between the toes.
Oh man!
So that's why I remember.
I saw one YouTube channel that set up like a ballistics dummy and then drop paint cans at it and then like examine the damage of it, and it was like, all right, yeah, that neck's broken, that skull is shattered.
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, is
do you
he
buy the? Or go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, is like, are they bad parents or are they good parents?
I was about to,
because that was
lead into that. I think this leads into what I was gonna bring up perfectly. So I think they're bad parents. I think they're stressed. I think there's a lot going on. You know, they're hosting. Even the fact that they're hosting because the cousins and the aunt and the aunt or the brother-in-law and sister, whatever, they're there, and I don't know. Like, there's definitely a sense of responsibility of hosting, especially on the eve of a huge trip. So I get that their heads are everywhere and they're kind of like overwhelmed sensory overload, and they're kind of like, fuck, just like, Kevin, shut up. Like, there's so much going on, dude. Just go away. It's just like that skit of I'm balling with my bros. Just go away, dude.
Just go away. Balling with my bros.
Yeah, but I don't think they're bad parents. I think there's just a lot going on. I think the uncle is a genuine cock. Like, ooh, like when he says, "Look what you did, you little jerk." I've been like, "Yo, Richard," or whatever the fuck his name is. I would have slapped him as a sibling, or if that was my brother-in-law, or if that was my brother. Like, God, I know he was written to be a fucking rotten twat, but jeez, he was extra. I would be if that was my brother. Like, I would be incensed. Like, I would be like, "Hey, I know my kid is an asshole, okay? But right now, you're an adult, and I'm paying for you to get on this plane to Paris, or I bought you this ticket," because I'm pretty sure that the dad was he got like a bonus or something like that, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure that they were like the organizing factor to get to Paris. Like, I think that there was a brother there, but I think that the McCallister family was like the main money behind it, especially initially for like the tickets. And he's like, "Hey, listen, don't talk to my kid that way. You know, you can discipline him, but don't be a dick." Yeah, it was just uncalled for. And like when they realized that they left him behind on the plane, he's like, "Well, I forgot my reading glasses." I mean, like, it was performed well enough where I believe that guy was such a piece of shit that he'd actually say that.
Yeah.
But it was also pretty ridiculous. I think someone as clueless as him wouldn't say that, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I mean, kudos on the actor for pulling it off believably, but man, I hated him.
Yeah.
Man, I did not like that gentleman.
No. But do you buy?
I think.
So I guess the lead-in or the transition from what you brought up to what I was bringing up is, do you buy that they left him, the set of circumstances that let that happen? Because I think that they set it up carefully.
Yeah.
So that it is believable that a parent would leave their child behind.
Yeah. I think that that was one of the things that the opening was good for, is that they accurately were like, all right, this is stressful. There's a lot of people in here. He went to bed early. He didn't know the plan. He wasn't ready. The power went out. They also threw away his ticket. There's like whenever they threw his ticket away.
I like how his dad spilt the Pepsi so recklessly, and like that was like Kevin's fault because of the chaos.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, you're all fucking spazzes. Like, this isn't Kevin's fault. I mean, he's spazzing out himself, but he has the right to.
Yeah, well, everybody's spazzing out. Don't just blame it on the kid. Like, that was what I was going to say is...
8-year-old youngest child of this family, he's clearly getting shit on. But I think I bought it. I think the little neighbor kid being a nosy fucker digging through their luggage and getting counted as Kevin. And I guess that was clever enough, but that kid kid's a dickhead for how comfortable are you to just do that?
It was a different time. Yeah. But like it is like all right, get out of here. Like you got your own fucking rich trip to go to. Get out of here. Go
Murphys,
on.
I think.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Well, everybody's out of town.
Yeah.
Except for old man Marley.
Which I like that storyline.
I do too.
A sweet little Christmas kind of tried and true story of, family and love and forgiveness and all that.
Well, I liked how sensitive it was and how like how adult that was, because it was kind of like those kids say the darndest things where like it didn't seem out of depth.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads me to like the thing where it's like, Kevin is just a kid, where like the conversation was an adult conversation that he had with the man, but he was still being a kid in it. Was like, why don't you just go? I mean, if you want to talk to your son,
well, it's almost like they were having different conversations too at the same time.
Yeah.
Or like Kevin's understanding was so pure and innocent, and maybe he was kind of posturing as an adult, but it still translated very true and authentically in a way that the old man needed to hear it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but, I mean, I agree. I liked the old man Marley.
Yeah.
I
loved his fear of him. I love when his brother Buzz is like telling the horror story, and it's just this poor little man just salting the neighbors' walkways because he's being a nice man.
Trying to be nice.
But they're
he's trying to be nice.
Him.
That's also like, kind of like that's a fun thing that this movie plays with, is like the perception of kids.
Yeah.
Is like they'll make up a story. The boiler is good. Yeah.
Blew my mind in terms of old houses with their central heating and air, is the fact that it's just literally a burning thing of heaters with just like ducts going off in every direction. It's like, I don't know, it's crazy. Which more or less is kind of what we have today, but it's a lot more sophisticated, compact, and just I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's just again, that's what leads me to the surprise that this movie is much more straightforward than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be, again, like a spectacle movie where it's like this fucking smart kid is left home alone and has to thwart these bandits throughout his whole like time there. But it's much more about him growing up in a little way, and like it's like it's just like, there's the byproduct of that, of him doing the murders that he did. But it's much more about him like getting what he wanted, being alone, and realizing that he wanted to be a part of the family, but also growing up and not being scared of the boiler anymore, and doing the laundry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised and pleasantly surprised at that when that happened.
Yeah, I think
upon watching it,
like the message was just toxicity within a family, and love and patience, and maybe you don't understand everyone, or I don't know, just give each other the benefit of the doubt. Love, patience, communication. I think that church scene at the end with Marley kind of was the thesis of the movie, if they had one, a theme,
Yeah.
But
patience.
I think on a technical side, I loved the cross cuts of him like walking around the home alone, when he's left alone, with the loud airplane noises of the plane moving around and stuff. Like, it was so good. Like, it's just good editing, good filmmaking. It's just so simple, but it was so impactful, and like just a touch of comedy too. Like, it could have been done in a comedic way. I don't know. It's just a little thing I really liked.
What?
like when he's walking around like with just like bed hair.
Oh yeah.
And he's like all tired and groggy, and then it cuts to the big airplane taking off and just really loud noises and whatnot.
Yeah.
I thought that was
No,
also,
I mean,
John Williams, Chris Columbus combo was cool to see, mainly because that combo comes back in the Harry Potter 1 and 2 movies, and you definitely 100% see you see that translate to those films. You hear the music first of all is so similar, and then second of all the way Chris Columbus directs killed children, you can see that come out in Macaulay Culkin the same way you see it come out in
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, and Watson and Grint.
Did John Williams did the Harry Potter stuff?
I'm pretty dang sure. Yeah.
Damn.
Let me see.
I'm looking.
Harry.
Oh my gosh, his IMDb is too full.
Harry Potter film. John Williams.
When did the first one come out?
Williams scored the first 3 films. So he definitely he built all the motifs.
Yeah.
And the main theme. But it's so crazy. It's like the relation this movie has to Harry Potter is pretty dang cool. And if for some reason there's a good chance you're a Harry Potter fan out there, just because a lot of people are. But if you are and you haven't seen Home Alone, then 100% watch it, because it's really cool to see see the inspiration, the comparison from it.
Yeah. Chris Columbus is in pre-production for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's an interesting, yeah.
Well, I guess, so it'll be a kids movie, which is interesting. Obviously kids love it, but like the Five Nights at Freddy's, we don't know, it's like a video game, and the idea is like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics are monsters. But
like they murder you.
Yeah, but they murder you, and they stuff children inside the animatronic costume between all the gizmos and animatronic stuff. It's just like, it's so weird, all the indie games that have blown up and that children love because of cute characters, but the story is like actually dark. Like Cuphead is a kind of a ripoff of like Steamboat Willie. Kids love it because it's a bouncy cartoon, but like the cartoon's like Cuphead's an alcoholic, and he has a gambling problem, and he made a deal with the devil. Like, these aren't children themes, so I don't.
Yeah.
In regard, so Chris Columbus on the project clearly means it's being made for kids, which makes sense. But it's just like, what? Like.
But it's also, that's like kind of a direct reflection of like fairy tales, like the original Grimm's fairy tales and stuff. Like, those were horrifying. Like, any of those, like the original fairy tales that all like the Disney movies are based off of are like, they're like morality tales, and they're gruesome.
I think we need to I think we need to traumatize kids more often with scary stuff.
Yeah, apparently.
I grew up with it, and I turned out okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm great. I just to double back, I do think that the parents are good parents, because I'm glad that they were worried. Again, having not seen this movie,
they realize their colossal fuck up. Like they aren't the uncle dude who didn't give a shit. Like, yeah, they were parents. They love this child. It is their child.
Yeah.
They don't. He's the youngest, and maybe that just means he's the quietest in the room or something. I don't know. I'm not a parent, but like, they don't love him any less. He's just like physically small and young, and he's just like, he kind of goes by the wayside because of that. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, because I'd never seen this more, I thought they would just be like panic for a second and then be like, well, he'll figure it out, I guess, and then go on with their trip. But I was like relieved upon watching it that she was like, no, I got to get back. I left this kid there, and I got to get back. And for a second, neither of us are parents right now, but can you imagine being on in 1990 or 1989 or whatever?
Yeah, no cell
being
phones, no internet.
No cell phone, no internet. Being on a transatlantic flight, maybe you got 6 hours left on the flight, and then you realize that you left one of your kids across the world with like almost no way to contact him, and there's nobody there, and it's like, what do you do? Like, or I mean, that would be even more stressful than trying to get all those people on the plane the night before. I mean, it's just like, oh my God.
But I like that they play it off as she's like, I've been awake for 60 hours. What city am I in? Even he's like, Scranton. It's just like, I don't know. I like this movie. It's a I guess fantastical, whatever that word is, but it
fantastical.
Plays, yeah, but it plays in a grounded world and real rules of humans. Like it's a very good balance of the absurd and all that, but grounded and like kind of has some real reactions and things people would do. So I think it balances very well. I guess spectacle and comedy with just a grounded film, and I think that's almost maybe subconsciously as a child why it felt so fun to watch, because it felt kind of real, I guess. And a lot of kids did, like you said in the intro, like maybe through the film at least got to like live vicariously of Kevin McCallister.
Yeah,
so, I don't know, and the fact that it was grounded.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like. I don't know. I never had like. Again, I never saw the movie, but I did see Home Alone 3.
Nice. The best one.
The best one.
With
I think
Peter
that was
Beaupre.
I guess so, yeah.
I think that's the bad guy in that one. That's a super deep cut.
Oh my gosh, good pull right there. What do we got?
It's a Christian's brother has this obscure inside joke about one of the it might even not be the main bad guy. It might just be one of the henchmen.
I think it is one of the. It might be. I don't know. He's listed first. Peter Beaupre. Wow, that's wild.
Such a fucking absurd joke. But anyways,
that's a deep pull.
Yeah. What were you saying?
But yeah, no. This. I'm just saying, like, this movie. I mean, it definitely captures the like. The kidness. Like, it's definitely, if I was a kid, I could see myself, like, this is one of those where it's like Kevin McCallister is unique enough that he's Kevin McCallister, but it's also like kind of the every man where it's like, if you were that kid, you imagine yourself doing that same situation.
Yeah.
And probably gave kids a lot of like false confidence to be like, Mom, listen, you can leave me alone. It doesn't matter. I will Kevin McCallister this shit. And
I mean, I remember I was the oldest, so I remember like being the Home Alone thing and like building that up, and just like how fucking cool I felt, and like how much freedom, ironically, I felt having the ability to like opt out of stuff because I could stay home and my parents had to bring me. I don't know. It was pretty cool.
You're like, nah, I'm gonna stay here. I'm fine here.
Yeah. But then I guess it made it even worse when you had to get dragged. It's like, fuck, I really don't want to. I know what freedom tastes like.
I know what it is to be alone in the house.
Yeah.
And to play video games on my dad's computer.
Yep. I mean, that is accurate to me. But
that's accurate to me.
I think it's really cool. I think that it speaks to how iconic this movie is for people that grew up in the 90s. You don't have to have seen it. Like, just I think growing up in the 90s or having being born in the 90s, you had seen this movie and in some way it was pretty impactful to you.
Well, which is why, even though I had never seen the movie, like until recently, it's like I knew all the things, you know? Or I had seen all the moments that I felt like, and that's what shaped my like picture of the movie, is I felt like that I had seen all the moments of the movie, to make them like, yeah, this kid absolutely wrecks these bandits who try and break in his house, and like I had it, you know, I knew all the stuff from it, I knew all the little gags, but it was nice to see them. And, like, you know, as we go and we watch these classic movies, like we just watched, like, Die Hard, it's like, you know, I know Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, and, like, the duct tape the gun to his back. because I've seen it parodied or I've seen it like in various other forms. And it's always interesting to go back and watch like the origination, the source of the to watch the classic that the other things are paying homage to. It's because it is like, oh yeah, this movie's a classic. Die Hard's a classic. Like they are not what I thought that they were.
Yeah, I could see that where and maybe it was a subconscious thing. I'm gonna become a psychologist here. Maybe it was a subconscious thing of you like a defense mechanism, like because you felt like you missed out, and you're like, it's stupid. I didn't miss out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
but it turns out I did, John. Thanks, dude. It turns out I did miss out, and that could have colored my I can't believe it took me so long to watch Die Hard.
I know.
Oh my god.
I'm just glad that you actually liked it, and
I'm glad. Listen, I don't think that there's a world in which I don't like that movie, unless like I had not eaten for 3 days. You watched I don't
it very
know.
hungover, maybe. Bad first impression.
Yeah, I watched it real hungover, and I had to watch it on a plane with earbuds in that I had to buy from the airplane place.
With the kicking
and those
and
are always
kid
awful
behind you.
Yeah, and it's like God, that if that was what was always connected with Die Hard to me, I would have been like, I probably wouldn't like it, maybe, but it wouldn't have anything to do with the movie. It would have to do with the situation around it, because that movie was made specifically for me by Bruce Willis and John McTiernan.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the all-time best I think it's an all-time best action movie, if not one or two. It's just a perfect storm.
It's pretty good. Die Hard 2 is not as good. Die Hard 3 is really good. Yes, I've watched all of them.
I need to get into it.
Die Hard 2 they try to do Die Hard 1 again.
Interesting. Okay.
And then Die Hard 3 is interesting. And
Have you heard of like Bruce Willis is just taking any job these days? Like DVD bargain bin, straight to bargain bin movies.
Yeah. He's like
the
uninteresting. He's like the uninteresting Nicolas Cage, where like Nicolas Cage will take any job, but then also do something like randomly awesome.
Well, that's why he
but
takes
he's just
the jobs, because he
Yeah.
wants the challenge and he wants to bring his own. He
But
likes
Bruce
he
Willis-
likes being weird. People think
Yeah.
he is weird, but people think that he likes to be weird. Oh no, people think that he's weird just because he is. No, he likes to be weird. He likes going crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know.
He likes pushing. Like, I watched the Ghost Rider movie like 2 months ago, and like he is really committing to that weird character.
Yeah.
Like, and
I
like
have so
even
much
in that
respect
big,
for him.
I fucking
really
love
like
him.
Yeah.
I fucking love Nicolas Cage. But like Bruce Willis, this is the other side of that coin, where it's like he's just doing jobs to do jobs. He's like, fuck it, I'm Bruce Willis. I'll get a paycheck for being Bruce Willis, and all I gotta do is be Bruce Willis and like have my bald head and squint at people.
I mean, I wonder what his rate is.
I mean, probably not as high as you think.
His rate's probably not high, but I bet he has certain standards of like if you were to fly him in, host him, food.
What I would say is
that.
like for like some of those like VOD stuff, I bet you he does it for like probably like $1 million or maybe $2 million. But he's like, all right, we're done in 20 days. I shoot all my stuff in 20 days and I'm out.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You know? Or maybe even less. Like he's like, all right, I'll take $750,000, which again, yeah, low rate.
I like the idea of him being
like,
his own agent too. Just like, I'll do this.
I mean, at this point, yeah, he's just cutting costs. Bruce Willis is just cutting costs. He's just like, fuck it. I'm my own agent. I don't need it. I'm going to get these VOD jobs. I'm going to play a bad cop, and I'm going to fucking, I don't know.
He's been in good films recently, though. Like Looper was a pretty like big budget.
Looper was
film.
a long time ago, though. I mean, it wasn't a long. It was like 2012.
Yeah, I guess time flies.
Remember, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the Shyamalama cinematic universe, Shyamalan. I can't say his name without saying M. Night. I have to say M. Night Shyamalan's.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan's
Shyamalan.
Glass, which Glass is a whole disappointment. That could be something to talk about one day.
That we could talk about that whole series. But anyway, Home Alone. Sorry, we got off on a little Bruce Willis tangent.
Yeah. I think I loved the. I guess in terms of comedy, I think the Marv and Joe Pesci stuff was really good.
Yeah.
The fact that they have a little they play it off so well. And like Joe Pesci was like, he's clearly the brain and like the impatient one, and Marv's the idiot. But he still's nice to him, and he like isn't a complete asshole to his idiot partner. So that was a fun dynamic that felt genuine. I really love the Polka guys. It's a pretty classic
like cartoon dynamic too.
Oh yeah, which is like, it makes me think of all the cartoons I watched when I was a kid, and all the cartoons I watched when I was a kid was like shit made in the 40s and 50s. I never realized that until like I grew up.
Yeah.
But, like, so it's it's super old. Like you won't see that again for many reasons, but I miss it, and I grew up on it, and it's really fun to see it, in different forms, and to see an evolution of it in the form of this pairing for sure.
Yeah. Well, I just love I have a little like thing. It was like I just love Joe Pesci, like as an actor, like he just almost never seems like he's acting. And I know that's like the whole point of acting is to not like whatever to be, but like he is someone who, but like no matter how big or small the role he has. Maybe it's because it's like different versions of Joe Pesci, and he doesn't try and go beyond that and like do like Daniel Day-Lewis stuff. But it's just so much fun to watch him to play who he is. I don't know. It's the same with like Steve Buscemi or other like great character actors like that, where it's like, I fucking love to watch you do the thing that you do. Like, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for just giving me different versions of you. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, because he's such clearly a type, and
he doesn't shy away from it. And he's like, I'm a double down on this. This is my type. This is what they cast me as. This is what I'll play. This is what I know.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. Except in the Irishman, but that's just because the technology is not necessary.
I want to watch that. There's a lot of. I just looked up Joe Pesci's filmography. I'm like, oh shit, I need to watch a lot of these. I want to rewatch Goodfellas. I want to watch Irishman just to see. My Cousin Vinny, I'm curious because that's Bill Belichick's all-time favorite movie. So.
Oh, you've never seen My Cousin Vinny?
No, but yeah. So fun fact: Bill Belichick's all-time. He quotes that movie all the time in press conferences, and he's deadpan.
That's funny.
So like, you only get the references if you're a fan. It's just like, I don't know. There's a lot more to the guy than
clearly
you think.
That Subway commercial was freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that Subway commercial. He rips that man's sleeves off. It's so simple, so little, but I fucking love it.
And he's a very smart guy. Clearly, I like said that weird. So back to comedy. I love the polka band introduction. How long that joke went on, and how unaware the guy was that like, oh, you haven't heard of us? We've sold 600 copies of our thing. You have we're really good in this one town. Like, you haven't heard when and so the mom's like, she's in Scranton. She's trying to get back to Chicago, and this polka band member overhears her, and he offers her to ride with them. But his introduction, he's just like shamelessly like, you haven't heard of us? We're like the best polka people from Southeast Illinois or something. I don't know. He's so obscure, but he's so so shameless, and it's not. I don't know. It's just a really funny thing. I felt like, and the joke went on for so long too. I just liked it. I guess I don't know. It was interesting.
Well, so here's some fun facts, fun trivia about that. It was all improvised. All of John Candy's stuff was all improvised, and they shot it all on one day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was all that was all improvised, and I mean, it was just apparently that's like a John Hughes thing, and like that he's like, yeah, because he produced this movie too. Is like, let him improvise, And Chris Columbus, I started over that. Chris Columbus recently revealed that John Candy did the role as like a favor for like $450, and like whenever the movie blew up, he was like bitter about it and like wasn't friends. Like he was just bitter about it apparently until he died. Yeah.
Well,
look at that. Look at that fun facts.
I mean, that's on him. Like at least like if you're gonna take the risk of like, okay, fine, I'll do this as a favor, low pay. I would put in like a clause if it blows up for royalties.
Yeah,
or
if you do something as a favor, that's like the cut of the draw. You're like, that's awesome, and then you hope that maybe your friends are like, hey, thanks, here's an extra, I don't know, $1,000 or something like that because you did it as a favor, or they like, I don't know, there's something, but it's like being bitter about it isn't gonna make it like better.
Yeah, or just
like
capitalize off of it. Like obviously your financial monetary capitalization has passed, or okay, that's out of the cards. Then find another way to capitalize. Like, get in the next Home Alone movie. Find a way in Home Alone 3 and get paid on that. Like, or something. I don't know.
He could have shown up. Oh, I think he had died by the time that Home Alone 2 came out, but I don't know. But like he could have been that. He could have been like a weird recurring character and helped the son out or something. Also, another fun fact, the Angels of Dirty Souls was shot for this movie. Like they shot that scene for this, so it's not a real old movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. How do you like that whole sequence, the whole gag?
I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's fun because
it's fun,
like,
and I love the, keep the change, you filthy animal. It's so good. Keep the
change, you filthy animal. I like because that's something that happened to me. Is I remember, you're like, oh, I want to watch these movies that mom and dad are watching. And they're like, no dice for you, kid. So I remember for me, I saw, I used to, my parents would get movies and then they would watch them and I would sit on the stairs and watch them through the thing. And I remember they got Minority Report and I watched like the opening sequence of Minority Report. And the opening sequence is them having a premonition of a horrific murder, and like very, very visceral and like blood everywhere. You could see like the scissors going into the body, and then and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. I think I was like maybe, I don't know, I was maybe like 10 or 11. I don't know when that movie came out, but I remember like being like, you know what, this is I'm gonna go to bed. I'm not gonna linger on these stairs here.
That's fair.
So I totally understand I totally understand that him being like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie that mom won't let me watch, and then he's like, this is scary because it does. Initially, he gets scared of it, and then he like warms up to it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing he's obsessed with it, and so much that he knows that scene, like. I remember as a kid, say that Minority Report scene to me, like, oh my God, because it's maybe the first time I've seen something like that. And then, I see it more and more. The more I see other types of gory things or visceral things, I always call back to that. And then it sounds weird, but there's almost like a fondness to it, because it was like the first thing that you kind of were exposed to. So I think maybe that's kind of what's at play. Is like he loves that scene, even if it terrified him the first time. Like he has an attachment to it for some reason.
Yeah, no, I understand that too. Because it's like the first time you see the thing, or it's like the first time. It's like the setting in motion, whatever it comes later.
Yeah, first time of breaking down that barrier, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, another fun fact. This is my final fun fact.
Yeah.
The picture of Buzz's girlfriend was the costume designer or production designer's son, because they thought it would be too mean to put an actual girl and like have him react that way.
That's fair. I almost think it should have been Buzz, that actor, and been like, what?
And drag her in ladies' clothes.
Yeah, that like the Buzz character is such an archetype looking dude from like 90s movies.
Yeah,
like he's that guy. He's like one of the football players in remember the Titans? not that actor, but that kind of looking guy. There's the antagonist in time travel movie Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, where it's got like that flat top and like open face.
Yeah, it's just like, why was this a? I think it's just a bully arch type look.
Yeah,
I don't think it was like in or I don't think it was ever found attractive at all.
That was like a 50s. That was like a 50s bully. That was like a 50s bully that they built off of. That like, and again, if you think about it, all of the bullies now are mostly like the rich, entitled, sexy kids. And that's kind of shifted. But like the movies when we were teenagers were like the rich, entitled, sexy kids. So like the directors of them were from the 80s and saw like that was how they grew up. And then the directors of those like 80s, 70s, 90s movies, they had like the crew cut like open like that was their bully, you know?
Yeah.
Which is just funny to see.
It's shorthand. He's the bullied older brother, and you get that right away. Also, $12 for a large pizza, for like large, like non-commercial pizza. Great price. I wish I could find that.
I know, man. Especially in Chicago. Especially over there on the north side.
I think it doesn't look like it's deep dish pizza, but
no, it's not. It's regular pizza.
I like New York pizza better.
I do too. I mean, Chicago pizza is just cheese pie. It's not pizza.
This is really fucking filling, and it doesn't need to be. I'm having two pizzas stacked on top of each other for some reason, with the sauce on top. Why do you need to be different, Chicago?
I don't mind it. It's a colder area there. You got to put more blubber on your bones. You got to have some more calories to burn. I get it. It's a cheese town because there's a lot of dairy and stuff over there, so they had a lot of extra cheese. So they probably were just like, hey, fuck it, let's put some cheese on top. And I like it for what it is. As a person who likes cheese, especially mozzarella cheese, but it is not a pizza. And you can come after. I'm sure we might get more comments about this, or more hate from this. Maybe unspoken hate.
Yeah.
But I think that we can say Chicago deep dish pizza is not pizza. It is a cheese pie.
And I won't be as contentious as you, but I will say that New York style is objectively better. I mean, the fact that it's literally nationwide, worldwide. I mean, right
everybody knows. You say, I'm gonna get a slice of pizza, and the pizza that everybody, expects is a slice of New York style pizza.
Yep. It's just good. I'm gonna get some for dinner, I think.
Oh my gosh.
We're coming up towards an hour. I think let's talk quickly about the defensive gags, the traps and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I guess what was your favorite, or what was most clever for you?
I think that the most I liked his like little nod to like the Sherlock Holmes, where he had like all the people set up, like he had the party set up and was like puppeteering him that way. I think that was probably the most unrealistic one, but I also really liked that one.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like the Michael Jordan kind of cultural phenomenon is in full display in this, and that's even that was even before the
championships,
the 6-peat almost.
Yeah.
So which is cool.
But I would say, I mean, Marv getting messed up in the basement. I would say that whole like sequence, like of him falling down the stairs, then stepping on the nail and getting the tar on his feet, and like I just love that whole like the sequencing of that, and the fact that he had to leave. He had to be like, you know what, this is too hardcore for me. I'm gonna go back around front.
Yep. I love the micro machines too, just mainly because that made me nostalgic. But it was just like, I don't know. It wasn't that clever.
What are the micro machines? I'm not familiar.
They're just small toy cars, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that. Also, the whole repeating joke of him like putting the aftershave on his face and it burning and screaming. I just love that he's like persistent with it and he keeps doing it because he wants to feel grown up. I don't know. But
did you ever shave when you were growing up?
Yeah, I tried and I cut my face with the shaver and I screamed, and my parents just laughed. And they didn't need to say anything or anything because I learned my lesson. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Not touching that shit again.
You're like, no dice. I'm good.
Yep. So I guess again maybe that's something where I can relate on that of my childhood. It's just like I get it. I get the curiosity.
Yeah, I never did that. I had like I had like a little fake razor, and I would put shaving cream on my face, but I was scared to touch the actual razor, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like, I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, mostly I wanted the catharsis of like, because I would watch my dad shave, and like, he'd have the shaving cream, and he would, peel it away, and it's just kind of like that satisfying, like, I don't know, removing of it slowly.
It is.
And so that's what I wanted to do. Was like, okay, I wanted to like remove it from my face, and the satisfaction of that, like, kind of piecing it away. I don't know.
No, it is. I think that's like one of my, as I am now grown up and have to shave sometimes, the shave gel that's like clear and doesn't lather is not as satisfying as like a shave gel that is like gives you a little like lather. Like that's definitely, hey, shave companies out there, give us some lather.
Yeah. I mean, I only use that kind. Now. So I need that satisfaction. But
yeah, I get it.
I mean, the machines were funny, but I wasn't like in terms of cleverness. I really liked. Honestly, I think I like the and it's not because I'm a gun guy or anything, but I like the BB gun thing, and I like the motif of him like getting on a knee and pumping a fist. And so, like, just like the juxtaposition of him shooting two guys trying to get into his house, and then like fist pumping like this 8-year-old child is just like it's absurd.
Nice,
and it's funny. I don't know. The paint is pretty satisfying.
The paint is pretty satisfying,
mainly for how like prolific it is in terms of like that would have killed someone in like the YouTube videos today. Like I think that's interesting. I just like the utter humiliation of the men with like even just like like feathering them and like stuff and burning their head off.
Oh fuck! I forgot about the burning his hair off.
I don't know.
I also really liked.
I mean, this movie, it's a classic and so much memory.
I also really liked. I really liked the ending bit where he like zip lines across.
I don't know.
And then they're
it's silent.
And then they're like going across, and it's just like, all right, he's gonna cut it down, guys.
Yeah, I muted you by accident, so I was rambling, and so we might overlap our voices there.
Oh yeah.
So that's what happened there. But
yeah, I was just saying the. Yeah, sorry if you haven't figured out, we're remote again.
Yeah, Patrick's chilling out in California. Yay.
Yeah, I'm looking at a desert right now, watching some hawks fly by. They're looking for some little old bunnies to eat, maybe some little prairie dogs.
You had to pay 10% of your income yet? Have you lived there long enough? Do you have to technically pay a percent of your income for being there for a month?
They don't know who I am. I'm a ghost. I'm a shadow.
Yeah, Tesla officially left, and Hewlett Packard left. I don't know, California.
Oh wow.
It's I think it's falling apart. It'll always have show business, but I've had many discussions with people up here. They're like, California, like foolishly was like, California should just secede. I'm like, that's a terrible idea for everybody. You know, that's just an awful idea for everybody. You don't actually want that. No, because their water comes from Nevada, which would be the United States, and then that would introduce a whole slew of things.
Yeah, I mean, plus where I am, you know, it's again, that was talking to people in the cities, and we're getting away from Home Alone again, but that was talking from people in the cities. But the flags and the attitude of people out here in the desert where I am does not mirror the attitude of people in the cities. Granted, there's a lot of people in the cities, and the cities take up a lot of space. But there's a lot of people in California that do the little jobs that wouldn't want to leave America. And also the people who do the bigger jobs also don't want to leave America.
Yeah. I mean, that's also
But
maybe
yes.
not the wanting to secede, but I think that's also a bigger issue in America is the rural versus city and how it's, I mean, that's the reason
all this
why
to
the
say-
elections are split. So that's all to say.
I am remote.
Yes. I mean, what if do you have reviews?
I don't. I put a thing. I wrote my reviews, and also I want to just talk about the weird shit. Like obviously the uncle is
Uncle
just
dickhead.
he's just a awful person. The police. I don't know what more they could have done, but I feel like they should have done more. And like all the people in between, where you have this like panicked woman on the phone that's like, my son is alone and I am thousands of miles away. Can you please make sure that he is not dead?
Yeah, them giving her the runaround was really annoying.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, again, maybe that's just like the product of the times and like people didn't take stuff as seriously back then. But man, she could have, she was like they were entitled to like some sort of settlement because of that was negligent.
Yeah.
Negligent.
I mean, I think you know this too. I'm not like, but I think the cops are in. I think that they're in there enough to explain why they're not a part of the story.
Yeah.
And
and
it just gives a really really annoying little sub story like moment there with those cops being annoying dickheads.
Yeah, or just like, yeah, fine, nothing here. She must be crazy.
Yep.
But
well,
yeah, I didn't source any reviews for this one. I've been
that's fine.
I've been bad about that. I forgot about it. I keep doing
I
them.
mean,
I keep doing them ahead of time, and then when we come to record,
this one wouldn't be too interesting because it's an instant classic kind of film. So
yeah.
But I guess
I
in
mean,
terms of our reviews, unless you have more weird shit.
No, not really. I mean, it's kind of that. That's kind of just that, and then also just like hey, the air travel worked different back then.
Yeah.
And we all know why that is.
Okay, yeah. Definitely. I'm not laughing to be callous. It's just your delivery.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I give it four bowling balls, a swing down and a swing back up 2 times. So that makes 4 swings of bowling balls of 2 balls.
Oh wow.
I don't know. It's a 4 out of 5. I give it a 4 out of 5 for all the reasons you've heard over the last hour.
Yes. I give it 3.75 paint cans to the face because one of the paint cans isn't very full.
Okay.
But yeah, I just I mean, it is a classic. Maybe that rating is too low, but I think in terms of like a movie, it's like, yeah, this is a good movie. But
I mean, a 3 is a solid rating.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 solid. So almost 4. That's a pretty dang good
almost
rating.
4. I just don't want to give it all of it, you know?
Yeah. That's fair.
But what have you been watching recently?
I watched Rome season 1 and 2. Outstanding show.
Oh wow.
Second time I've watched through it. So much better than Game of Thrones. I mean, Game of Thrones was solid for the first 4 seasons, and I personally actually liked it all the way to the very last season was trash. But it's a tragedy that series was not able to be finished. It's amazing. It's
That's
outstanding.
HBO, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. And a lot of shows in today would not exist if Rome wasn't made. So it's pretty, I'd say pretty significant. I watched The Queen's Gambit. It's
Yeah, I saw that.
entertaining, I guess. I thought it was fine. You know, I think there was a lot of complaints on like the representation of a woman at her lowest and substance abuse and all that. And I don't know. I just don't know. I watched it and I thought, okay, this is good, I guess. I watched 6 Underground, Michael Bay and Ryan Reynolds Netflix action flick. and it was.
How'd you like that?
It was hot garbage.
Oh,
It had moments. The like the special effects were awesome. Like the like the human body and like the body like the dying. I guess like people getting hit by cars or people flying out of cars and like that looked some of the best I've ever seen in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's Michael Bay, so I guess.
I mean
that's
that's kind of par for the course.
The movie itself was incoherent. Which honestly seems to be a kind of. I mean, there's good Netflix movies. Don't get me wrong, but like, this seems to be the norm. Like a weird movie that looks like it should be good on paper, has a really good trailer, and then it's a trash movie.
And they have like
it's happened so much with Netflix movies.
Well, and the thing is too, it's like the third act falls apart in Netflix stuff. I would say pretty consistently. Like the third act and things where like things all come together. It feels like they ran out
of money or something. Like did you see Triple Frontier or Three Frontier or whatever?
I did.
Ben Affleck just dies and the movie kind of stops being the movie that it's been.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck?
I know. It
felt like they ran it felt like they shot the movie in sequence and they ran out of money. It's bizarre.
They were like, oh shit, I guess we'll just I
mean,
we're gonna figure something out.
Pedro Pascal, Ben Affleck, and Oscar Isaac, and I think one more.
Garrett Hedlund, I want to say, or Charlie Hunnam or something.
Like a vague Nordic-looking guy, blonde guy. But either way, those three alone, being in like ex-special forces guys in a movie, doing a heist, is such a fucking cool concept. And those actors, and it's cool until it stops being cool. Even then, it wasn't great, but I don't know. What are you been watching?
It was all right. I've been watching a lot of stuff. Also, I just want to, Letterboxd sponsor us. We'll give you a pitch because we're both using it now.
You're using it now?
Yeah, I'm using it now. I'm using it all the time, baby.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like collecting movies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that was their their design, but I love it.
Well, plus you get to kind of like track and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you ever like get like in a streaming service cycle, like for a week or a month, you're like, oh, I'm watching all the Netflix stuff, or I'm watching all the Amazon Prime stuff right now. So it's like, that's like your go-to for like a month or so, and then you kind of like plow through it and then switch to another one? Or is that just me?
I don't do that. I chip away.
Okay.
My main thing is like, for me, Netflix has personally become I'm going to try and find something I don't care about to put on the background. And then Amazon is like, I know what I want, and I'm going to just go there and rent it for $3-4 because I just know I want it. I don't even care if it's on Netflix or another search. Yeah. I don't give a shit. I know I want to watch it.
I need to watch this.
I'm going to watch it.
I need to watch this.
Yeah, so that's... and then I don't know. And I seek out other things when they're on certain platforms.
But, so I watched The Sound of Metal, which is real fucking good.
5 stars.
Yeah, that movie's real fucking good. Huh. I tried to give it 4.5 stars, but that movie, I mean, it's just really fucking good. It's about a metal drummer who loses his hearing, and that's like, it's about more than that, but it's fucking good.
Oh,
I don't like metal music.
Bodie Rick is in it. Cool.
Huh?
My throat got so dry in saying that. God, sorry. Oh my god. Bodie Rick.
Oh my gosh.
I can't speak. Oh, I got like a
John, come back to me. Come back to me, John.
I don't know if I'll ever recover from this. I got what's his name?
Riz Ahmed.
Yeah. Riz Ahmed. He plays Bodie Rick in Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Yep.
And he also plays bad guy in Venom. So.
Yeah, he does. I also watched Suspiria, which is also really good. It's very Kubrickian, that movie. Nice. But yeah, you can follow us on Letterboxd and you can see what we watch.
Yeah, and get Letterboxd. I think it's a very well used app. Don't get me wrong, but I think it, I would say maybe underutilized.
Yeah, and Letterboxd sponsor us.
That'd be sick. Yeah, follow at Pat Rock. That's like Patrick, but with an O instead of an I.
Yep.
And then what is my name? I think I'm J Gilardi 12.
I think it's JW Gilardi.
Oh no, J Gilardi 12.
Okay.
You know,
And
figure it out.
also,
it's like gelato, but gelardi. Figure it out. I know
you got it.
You'll find it. I think
You
my
guys-
name's in the description for every episode somewhere. But
hit us up on Twitter at Stinky Podcast and tell us what you think we should watch next.
Yeah.
Tell us, pitch us your movie. Tell us your favorite movie. Tell us your
Home
favorite
Alone?
Christmas movie.
I think this was recommended by someone.
Yeah, someone said watch Home Alone, and
If you vamp for 2 seconds, I might be able to find it.
all right. So
Here we go.
yeah,
I found
make
it.
sure.
I found it.
Oh,
Chris Pinchin, thank you for the recommendation of
yeah.
Home Alone.
Thank you, sir. And rate and review the Stinky Podcast on wherever you watch your podcast from.
Indeed.
And as they say in Chicago, you got anything else?
As they say in Chicago, don't wear dinosaur pajamas. Because
I was gonna say,
you're going to get nailed for that one.
or keep the change, you filthy animals.
Oh, no, I ruined it. That was the best outro we could have had.
It's okay. We still got there.
I forgot to mention the dinosaur pajama joke. I thought that was funny, and I wanted to shove it in there.
Hey, that's why I asked if you had anything.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
back from the top. As they say in Chicago.
As they say in Chicago, keep the change, you filthy animals.